Good evening. Welcome to the latest edition of the Storm Report Live. We are presented by the Pharmacy in Bennington and Manchester, GT Tractor, the Bennington Rescue Squad, Kingsbred, and Ramondos North Adams. Today we have with us Joe Wiggins, the 2019 NEFL All-Star, also a 2019 team captain in his first year with the team. Joe had over 700 yards in receiving and 7 touchdowns. We're also joined by Tank Roberson, newly signed player that brings some excitement to the team. In high school, Tank had 14 14 total touchdowns in a senior year and averaged 8.23 yards per carry. So what I wanted to do is I'm going to start with Joe. I'm going to kind of get Joe started here. I'm going to drop Tank out here. We'll bring him right back. Hey, Joe, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So I'm just going to jump right into it, kind of keep things moving. So where'd you play high school football?
I played high school football at St. Joseph Central High School in Pittsfield.
Okay. Now you played with Tank, correct? For at least a short while. Nice.
Yeah, I did play with Tank. I've been playing with Tank actually like my whole life since Pop Warner.
That's awesome. There ain't nothing better than having getting to be able to play back with old teammates. During your time in high school football, what was your fondest memory from those days?
My fondest memory of high school football would have to be, my senior year, beating PHS, taking back the city championship, and then from there going in and being an all-star my senior year in the all-star games.
That's cool.
The Shiner Bowl and that they like do in Springfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do something similar to that in Vermont, I think. So you were also, you were a two-sport athlete. You obviously played football, and you had also played basketball. And you went on to play college basketball at NCLA. Was it hard to leave football behind as you moved forward with basketball for that short time?
No, I played my freshman year of football at Westfield State. Like, not many people know about that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it was hard leaving the game, but like my heart was like dedicated to basketball at that time, and like my goal was just to take that beating that I was getting on my body so much from football and just like try to get my body back to the way it used to be. And so I think the hardest part was like leaving the game because I had like a lot of love for it. Obviously, I've been playing it like my entire life, but once basketball season ended, like me missing it so much, like brought me back into it. And
sure,
like I said, going to Westfield, coming back, even when I was at MCLA, like I played 2 years for the Kings, took a year off, and then like I said, my love for the game just brought me back, and then it brought me to Bennington.
Yep. No, that's you kind of answered my next couple of questions, and those were, did you ever think you're going to get back into football? And obviously, you did. I mean, you kind of did it. You played for the Kings during your time at MCLA, so you kind of do both. Is that how you did it?
So I was doing obviously with college basketball, the football season ends like right in between the playoffs. So when I was at MCLA, I played all the way through until playoffs, and then of course like I had to miss the championship game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, due to like my basketball season and stuff.
So did they ever give you a hard time about it, or did they never really know?
I mean, that was the year I should have been the offensive MVP of the league, but like,
yeah. Hey, it's in the blood. It's in the blood. What are you gonna do? When you were growing up, was there someone that you looked up to, football wise, or even basketball for that matter?
Football wise, I'd have to say my biggest role model looking up to, I would have to say, I had a bunch of great guys around me. So I had my guy Mike Mance, who was my quarterback my freshman year at PHS. Steven Sumner, Kamar Telefero. Another big name that comes up is Dempsey Quinn. He coached me at St. Joe, and he like molded me into being like the receiver and stuff I am now.
What has the game meant to you? What would you tell young athletes to be successful?
To be successful, you just got to dedicate yourself to it. Like I always tell people, I always tell like the young athletes now, don't just focus on just one sport. Try to like
I
expand.
agree.
You see, like, you know, what you like actually love and what you can like honestly contribute to your team and what you can do to be the best person you can be.
No, I agree with you. I think, I mean, for me, the best athletes are the multi-sport athletes. Let's face it. I mean, if you didn't, I mean, how many catches did you have this year when you literally blocked somebody out in the end zone? I would say what 5 of the 7 touchdowns you had this year. That's
Yeah.
where it all starts. I mean, you didn't learn that by playing football. You learned that by playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all about it. I mean, more the merrier. In 2019, the team saw a lot of success. Looking back in 2019, how do you assess that?
So looking back at 2019, like I say, like the biggest impact was, like we as a team, like we were we're like brothers, like we had everything together. We had the focus, we had the objectives, and like Gary and myself always said, like we accomplished every objective that we wanted to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we didn't achieve was obviously winning a championship.
Mm-hmm.
But just seeing how we were successful as we were this year,
Mm-hmm.
like me personally, just making it to the championship again and actually playing in a game,
Yep.
compared to making it to the championship, missing it. It was a big like reality check. It was a wake up call, and like it makes you hungry and it makes you like want to be a better person for next year, and you want to like get all those guys ready. And that's the big thing right now is making sure that we have everyone ready.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be the challenge. I mean we're playing the waiting game. I mean I know this has been well talked about, but there's plans in place to. Well, yeah, it's just I mean, safety is number one, obviously, but we also have to look to see what our options are. And the league has done exactly that. So it's there's an opportunity for it to be delayed. There's an opportunity for it to be shortened. Really, what it boils down to, in my opinion, as long as there's enough teams that want to do it, there will be a season one way or the other. The Storm is dedicated in doing that. If for some reason it gets to the point where the league doesn't have a season, I'm kind of behind the scenes. I'm working on something else that maybe we can at least be able to play some games this fall into winter. So, but I agree with you as far as building on 2019 is really what it's about. I mean, we built on so much from 2018 to 19, and like you said, the only thing we have left to do is check that big box that has a big 0 in it right now, and that's the championship. Looking back in 2019, was there a standout memory or moment from this past season that you're always kind of look back on positively?
Stand back. I don't know. I got too many. But obviously the big one is be like watching my brother accomplish milestone of achievements. Like me being his older brother, that's a blessing. Seeing him be as successful as he was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean, my biggest one would be watching my brother grow and like just be the monster that he is.
So I mean, it was special to watch. One of the things that I like the most is when after Melissa would take those pictures on Saturday, we saw him say Monday, Tuesday. Countless times I see you, in the foreground making a block so he goes for 15. Being able to see both Wiggins together on the field and get it done. For me, it was special to look back on because, at the end of the day, it's, we preach family, and that's exactly what it is. So that's something that meant a lot to me, and I know it obviously means more to you than me, but it certainly is something I'm very much aware of. So back in the All-Star game in November of 2019, you showed me something at safety. Do you have any interest in playing there, or do you think you're best served as a wide receiver?
My best serve is that wide receiver.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's a great leader role for me. Like I said, being able to show people how to run the proper routes, showing them how to get off the jams and how to do it, and then watching games and stuff, and seeing them actually do what you have been working out the whole year.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me. Like, yeah, I like safety, but like I said, like,
No, I want to keep you. I want to keep you where you're at because I know Will would miss you greatly.
yeah.
So I'm going to ask you this question that I asked your brother.
All right.
Who is better, you or your brother?
I'll never say my brother's better than me, so I'm definitely gonna say I'm better than my brother. But I mean,
Yeah,
like I said, we play two different positions. Like,
yeah,
running wise, running people over, trucking them. So that's Vontae. But when it comes to like better hands, mossing people, and better blocks, I'd probably say that's me, hands down.
yeah. Well, I know. I think he actually said that he had better hands than you, but he didn't say anything about boxing everybody out. So I'll let you guys settle that on your own time.
He don't have better hands than me. He's been trying to say that since his senior year of high school, but no, he doesn't have better hands than me.
Yep. And by the way, happy birthday to Levante. It's his birthday today, so we gotta give him a little bit more love. So Joe, I'm gonna that's the last question I have for you. So I'm gonna put you off to the side here for a minute. I'll bring Tank in, and then sorry, your brother's making me laugh here. He says, "Whoa, blocks." So
he doesn't give me credit where it's due. He always says I miss my blocks, but I've watched a lot of film and I can see him kind of slow down a little bit and he gets caught. That's on him though. He won't admit that.
For sure. All right, so I'm going to bring Tank in. Thanks for your time, Joe. We're going to pop you back in at the end, and I'll talk to you just a second.
All right.
Tank, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much. It's nice to finally get a chance to speak with you. I know we've spent a bunch of time going back and forth in text messages, but it's nice to finally have a face-to-face. So I'm going to start off with the first question of it's kind of a spoiler. Joe kind of alluded to this already, but where'd you play high school football?
Oh, St. Joseph Central High School, man. I'm a Crusader.
Yeah, no, looking back at it, I mean, you guys had a ton of talent. I looked at that roster a few times, and your name obviously came up, and it's just like it's quite amazing. I mean, I know that Joe, I think it was Joe, shared a picture of you, Levante, and himself.
Oh, yeah.
From that. So that was something that certainly got my attention. I mean, I remember seeing that back when I was talking to Joe to have him come on the team. So it's kind of cool to have more of the St. Joe's guys come aboard because, like I said, you guys had a ton of talent. Obviously, a good program for at least during that time. In high school, you were a two-sport athlete. You went on. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, actually, you were a two-sport athlete. Growing up, who did you idolize? Either sport.
Well, I mean, I just look up to like the big names, probably like Michael Jordan. I was saying Michael Jordan, but as a kid, when I was thinking about what high school to go to, I mean, I'll go to a lot of high school games, and at the Conic, there was this kid named it was Jamel, it was Jay Crones. Those guys were tough back then.
Yep.
And but then I just fell in love with St. Joe and the tradition they had. So we had Brody Quinn at the time, Ben Joslin, Danny Joslin. Those are the guys I was looking up to. On a standpoint where I was like, more locally.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of names there that are pretty recognizable. Sorry, your buddy there is calling you ugly, so I just make you aware you saw that.
Oh yeah.
You were obviously a two-sport athlete at as we said, in poking around today, trying to kind of get, I mean, I know who you are, but trying to kind of put in some effort as far as where you've been and those sort of things. And one of the things that popped up today was a video that you were a Berkshire Player of the Week. And in that video, appear Levante and your other buddy Johnny.
Those are my guys. Those are my best friends.
Yeah. So the more I had watched it. Basically, it was like you had a social media campaign. It was ran by Johnny.
Absolutely.
Looking back at it, would you elevate Levante to the campaign manager next go round, or I think Johnny did a good enough job?
think Johnny did a good enough job, but it was more of a group effort between them two. Them two, they really worked hard for me to get out.
No, that stuff's gold right there. That just shows the friendship that you guys have.
Definitely, it's a brother.
So after high school, where was the next step? Where'd you go next?
I might up going to Pine Manor College in Boston, Massachusetts, Chestnut Hill, right outside of Boston. I was a basketball player. I did really well there. Scored 1,000 3 years, and it got a little shaky around my senior year, so I ended up going to Castleton for a little bit, and that wasn't the best situation for me. Then I'm going back to Boston to a school called Newberry, and that school ended up shutting down. Like not too long after the season. So it was a roller coaster ride within college, but it was worth it.
Yeah, it's the journey is what teaches you a lot.
Definitely.
So when we were away at college and you were playing basketball, was there ever? I mean, I know you played at a pretty high level and were very successful, but was there ever a time that you kind of in the back of your mind felt like you want to get back on the football field?
When I would go watch, my best friends are Johnny B and Vontae, so I'll go watch their games. I'm like, man, I can play right now. We all went to prep school after St. Joe, and I ended up getting a lot of all of the coaches wanted me to play football, and I just would wave it off because that's just not what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But when I would go see like Vontae play at Berkshire, I was like, God damn! I'm like, yo, I can contribute to this team, and it went like that through college. So I kind of did miss it, but I was just so into basketball.
No, you know what? I mean, you got to focus on what makes you happy, and honestly, for you with how competitive you are, I could definitely see that you need to kind of focus on one thing. Not to say that that's the bad thing. It's just that's where your mindset was at that time.
Definitely.
So, obviously, Levante being one of your best friends, he had recruited you, at least from my viewpoint, for months. But in talking with it through it with you, it was about a week. But I guess Levante left me hanging for about 3 months.
Yeah, he was scared. I was. I'm in a process right now. I'm rehabbing a lot. Trying to get my speed back, and I play a lot of basketball all the time, and I'm actually still looking to go play, professionally basketball.
That's great.
Things of that nature. But with this COVID hitting, it slows down the process. But it's also a blessing in disguise. I wouldn't even have thought about playing football if it wasn't for this whole epidemic going on. So he just when I said it to him, he's like, bro, don't play with me. And I'm like, bro, I'm interested. He's like, bro, I wanted to ask you, but I just knew where your head was at, and I didn't want to disrespect you. So it's my guy.
No, that's like I said. He told. I mean, I want to say it was like Christmas or close to it, or maybe even New Year. He said to me, he's like, I got this corner, the best corner I've ever played with, and like every couple of weeks, it'd be like, what do I got to do for you to tell me who this is, and what do you want for it? It was good. I mean, it kept us talking all winter. But it's a cool thing. I'm excited to have you here because I believe that you can help us do what we want to do, and that's winning football games. Right. So in the beginning, were you you kind of touched on it already. Were you apprehensive of playing because you're just concerned about injury as far as maybe delaying your basketball career, or is it more of just trying to get focused on your overall goal?
I just about getting focused on my overall goal. You know what I mean? It's been like that for a while. I've never really given football enough respect. You know what I mean? When it comes to myself, with just locking into that sport, it's just been like a natural ability. When it comes to that sport. So, but now it's just like, hey man, I'm competitive. I want to, as you can see in some of the workout videos I do, I'm able to like lock in and work out as a football player,
Mm-hmm.
and it's better on my knees, honestly. So,
Right.
That's like the main thing.
No, it's good. I mean, I certainly, have been keeping an eye on what you've been up to, but it seems like anything else, you put in the work, you should have some success. And the last thing you want to do is just kind of, not put effort into it. And you obviously are. So, this kind of goes into you working out. I mean, I see obviously you've been working out quite a bit. What area are you looking to get better at? Is there like a goal behind your training? Is there something you're looking to improve on?
I'm really just looking to get my acceleration back, for the most part. Throughout this process of what I've been going through with my injuries and things of that nature, I lost my step. I lost my first step and things of that nature. So now, with me being back, I noticed that on the basketball court, it's much more hard on your knees than on the football field. So I can attack being more, being quicker with my steps. The acceleration has to be there, things of that nature. So, and I also want to get better at jamming. That's another thing. Like I want to get better at jamming my the receivers. But I can, I'm just looking to be the best. I'm just trying to be the best.
Hey, you know what? You kind of hold the keys to that car in a sense. You put in the work. I mean, there's something worse than not putting in the work and think you're just going to skate by, and that's obviously not who you are.
Not at all.
From a defensive standpoint, I love nothing more than a couple corners in a state. Well, corners most of the time, but free release. We don't want that.
Right.
That's something we have to get better at. We can't have guys, turning their back and the guy's in a slant and he's got his numbers facing the wrong way. We can't do that.
Oh, absolutely not.
So being able to, jam them to me is important. So you get better at that. That's not a bad thing.
Definitely.
What would you consider a successful rookie season? Well, Eric
statistic-wise?
What's that?
Statistics.
It can be either or, statistics or end result. I mean, I'm cool with either one.
Okay, well, my end result, I want to win a championship. That's pretty much all I want to do and contribute to it, the best way that I can. I know that the talent is there, and I didn't go to any football games, but I see what you guys were doing, and I was just watching over you guys and seeing how you guys run things, and I was like, wow, I would like to be a part of something like that. So I mean, a championship is just a goal. I don't really, individual, just not my thing, honestly.
Yep.
I just want to win.
That's what we're here for. I mean, Joe and Levante and anybody else on a team feels the same way. We got a taste. From an organizational standpoint, last year was a huge success, even without the championship. That's the championship game was our second ever appearance in a championship game. And I can tell you what, the last one we were in, and compared to this one, I know which one felt better. And I don't want to feel that again. I think most of our guys are pretty motivated and understand the task at hand. I haven't seen a bunch of guys respond in the way they did after that game, and everyone seems to be really hungry and focused. So I think this is going to be a hell of a season as long as we get it off the ground. I got to ask you this question because you're ultimately going to be the guy that kind of decides this, I think. So I asked Joe, and I was to Devontae the same question. I'm going to ask it to you. Who's better, Devontae or Joe?
Oh man, that's tough, man. That's tough. Sheesh. Vontae's position gets more glorified. You know what I mean? It's just we see more of him. You know what I mean? And
yeah, that's fair to say.
Offense that we ran, he was the guy. So I gotta say Vontae. But here's the thing about Joe, man, and he's always open somehow. He's always open. I don't know what it is. I don't know how. He's not doing anything extra. He's just running the correct route, and then somehow he just reads the quarterback and gets open. So, but I have to say Vontae. I mean, Vontae for the longest time, he can't beat me in a race now. But Vontae was really fast growing up, and he was just 215, 230, 215. Imagine 230. He can run really fast, and he can run through you, and he can run past you. So I gotta say Vontae.
Well, in Joe's defense, Joe, both of them actually have great personalities, just good people, and I'm very appreciative of them both being on the team because you know what they both bring the energy that's needed. Sometimes Joe has to apologize for blowing up, but usually it's it's usually for good reason.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing negative. It isn't anything that I would say, Joe, he shouldn't do that. But you know what? He's passionate, and so is Avante. So I'm all about that. So
you're gonna see. That's the thing. That's us. You know what I mean? I've been playing with Joe and Vontae since I was in 4th grade, and that's been us. You know what I mean? But you know the craziest thing, and they'll tell you, I'm the one that's usually very, very, very passionate. So you're gonna get like Vontae and Joe, 2.0. When it comes to me, I'm really on them. So they're gonna be even more. I want to say they're gonna be ready because I'm gonna be on them. I don't play games with that. Hey,
as long as we're all pulling in this one direction, energy, I'm all for it, man. And you obviously you feel the same way. It's not about what's the phrase. It's about us, not me. As long as we're in it together, man. That's
absolutely.
Yep, no question. So, all right, man. Well, thanks for your time. I'm gonna bring Joe back on here, and we'll get it wrapped up.
All right.
Man, you have better hands than Vontae. We're not having this argument.
Hey, have you been sitting on that for the last 10 minutes?
Oh yeah. It's comfy. It's comfy. I'm about to move.
That's right.
Joe, you gotta talk it. You gotta talk it. You know what I mean? You gotta let us know.
I refuse to say Vontae has better hands than me.
Vontae does not have better hands than
Nah.
Well, you know what? We're gonna have to get a couple jug machines delivered to your house, and we'll start taking some stats and see who comes out on top.
Definitely.
So, all right, guys, listen. I want to thank you guys for both taking the time. The thought behind doing these is getting a chance to kind of meet each other and get the community kind of know the kind of people that are playing for this football team. And with the situation, I think it's good for people to kind of get updates as far as where we're at. So, thank you, and I will be looking forward to talking to all you guys real soon.
Oh man.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
You too.